Good morning, afternoon, and evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Zachary Nolan. Carter Nolan is behind the camera.
I'm exhausted, but yes.
It is 1 past record o'clock, and if you know when record o'clock is, you know it is early in the fucking morning, my friends. But let me get through to this. I worked till about 10 p.m. tonight, and then I procrastinated the rest of the night away, and now here we are.
Yeah.
So, what am I here to talk about? Well, there's quite a bit of news coming out of the Winnipeg Jets camp, and I don't like any of it. Well, let me refrain. So let's get to the first part. First part of the matter, Blake Wheeler has been put on the COVID protocol list. Now, there are so many mixed feelings with this. Hopefully he's okay. There's no real serious health problems. That being said, this seems like something that the hockey gods would kind of bless the Jets with, because Blake Wheeler, as we all know, in the last 2 games has been a struggle. Arguably, in the last 2 years, he's been a bit of a struggle because he obviously has talent, but his talent is not being really utilized, or in any case, it is being exposed on top-line minutes, where he doesn't belong right now in this stage in his career. Now, with Wheeler in the lineup, the right winger slot 1 is open. Can we get the mythical Connor Scheifele Ehlers line? Fucking no, we can't. Let me tell you what the lines are. Connor Scheifele Kopp, Stastny Dubois Ehlers, Harkins Lowry Vesalainen, Svechnikov Nash Perfetti. I'm pissed, and I'm gonna explain this in a lot of pillars, and trust me, if it seems like I'm off track, we will group this together. It will come back. Don't worry. I want you to imagine for a second. This is trust me here, that Jason Robertson is on the Winnipeg Jets. He played for the Jets last year. Okay? That's a pretty good player right there. Great young player. He was the finalist on the Calder Trophy race. Obviously losing out to Kirill Kaprizov, but nonetheless having a great season with the Dallas Stars. He seems like a somewhat skilled goal scorer and playmaker, and he seems like he would really fit into the top 6 of the Dallas Stars going into the future, and arguably the top line. Now imagine if he's on the Winnipeg Jets. Here's the problem. We have seen this story before, and I have a feeling that we are seeing this idea happening. Now, let me refrain. So, Robertson had over 45 points with the Dallas Stars. Carter, stop fucking flipping shit around. It's late. Stop it. Anyway, focusing now. Over 45 points with the Dallas Stars. Now, in context, Andrew Kopp had about 42. Now, here's the problem. Andrew Kopp has more hierarchy than a rookie with potential. Jason Robertson, on a weaker team, would have a better season, I think, with the Dallas Stars than he would with the Winnipeg Jets, for example. And I will explain this very much. And why do I say that? Because who's the Jason Robertson now? It's Cole Perfetti. It is goddamn Cole Perfetti. Why didn't I compare it to the Calder winner? Because the Calder winner coming in had way too much hype to compare. It would have been like comparing honestly, like a Patrick Laine to that, who also we put on the second line. Fuck diddly dee. But Cole Perfetti is at risk of not getting proper exposure. Exposure is minutes. As a rookie, you need minutes. This is your uphill battle to the peak of your career. What takes you there? Fucking experience points, like every fucking video gamer knows. You need experience points. Otherwise, if you go just get flung up there, you will fail. You will fail miserably. If you are counted on to produce in the third line role options, you will struggle. Now, Zach, I hear you cry. Our third line is solid depth. We most notably for the longest time had the best third line in the NHL. That is true, but that was a absolute curse in disguise, and I will explain that as well. In the 2017-18 season, we developed what was known as proper fucking forward depth. And we had the perfect TLC third line. Tanev, Lowry, Kopp. Now, we had that line for 2017-18, 18-19. And from that, Two people are still left, Lowry and Kopp. Now, what happened in that season was remarkable. Our third line put up premier scoring numbers for a third line, which was unheard of. Arguably could have been a top 6. However, here's the important thing. We didn't use them like a top 6 unit. We used them where we knew we had to, on the third line with line matching options. Here's the problem. 2 players from that group, Lowry and Kopp, got upgrades, got promotions, so to speak. And I'm not saying they're not amazing players, but they have a ceiling, and we know it. Adam Lowry has a ceiling. He can't play power play minutes. He can't play top 6 minutes. Now, for all the flack I'm going to give tonight, credit where credit's due, he has not moved ever to the second line center spot. Good. But the same cannot be said for his right wing counterpart, Andrew Kopp. Andrew Kopp is getting now first line minutes with Scheifele and Connor. I love Andrew Kopp. Andrew Kopp is a workhorse. However, Andrew Kopp just does not have the skill to pull that off. Andrew Kopp was, for some insane reason in some preseason games, the shooter on his line. That is not his positioning. He's a grinder forward. A grinder forward rarely is the face of the first line, a first line right-winging position. Because you need style, you need finesse, you need skill and talent. Nikolai Ehlers, Cole Perfetti is that skill and talent. The problem is we built up this mythical status about our third line that we lied to ourselves and said that these players could then become fucking top tier forwards. No, they are solid depth. Also, for the record, why the fuck do you need to give Kopp these minutes? He doesn't put a lot of points up on the board. He scored a short-handed goal. Great job. He got an assist from fucking Adam Lowry. So it doesn't matter. Also, keyly enough, he's leaving in a year. You think his ass is re-signing on the UFA market? He's went to arbitration 3 times. 3 strikes, you're fucking out, ladies and gentlemen. Let's keep moving, shall we? What do the power play units look like now that the first power play line anchor is out? For the record, I'm actually interested with this new defenseman they're putting up there. They're putting now Schmidt up there, and Morrison and Pionk are on the second line power play. But it is, and I'm not joking, in practice was Scheifele, Connor, Dubois, Nash, Schmidt. What the actual flying fuck is this? Riley Nash. He has like 13 goals in 3 years. He is on your first power play unit. You okay, bot? You need some drugs? Are you on drugs? You're putting a shutdown forward in front of the net. Someone prescribe a doctor. Because you're fucked in the head. He will not produce there. Riley Nash has limits. Fucking limits. Now, let's go to patient 0 of the problem. Paul Maurice. There's a sentiment, and it is being thought throughout the organization, throughout the fandom, that we need to get rid of Paul Maurice. Now, I would like to be a little more specific. I don't say get rid of Paul Maurice, but I want certain things to be met. These are the lines that I want to see moving forward, especially with Wheeler out. Connor, Scheifele, Ehlers, Stastny, PLD, Perfetti, Svechnikov, Lowry, Kopp, Harkins, Nash, Vesa. I love Harkins, but he has limits. Just like the rest of them. That is what my lines, I want them to look like. Now, let me just think about this now. Just keep, because there's a lot here. We've let so many players slip through our fingers because of this established hierarchy that we think because you had an awesome third line performance that you deserve to be You deserve to keep that spot no matter what. You deserve to even play up above other players, new players. No, you deserve to keep that spot, that third line spot, and that's it. You play there. As a famous Canadian American once said, know your role, jabroni. For fuck's sakes. He might not have said that last part, but I'm adding it. Now, I want to put this into perspective, in a more perspective, even more than you thought of. Think about the 2018 Vegas Golden Knights. Their entire existence and success is the idea of exposure working, the system working. What was their first line? William Karlsson, Jonathan Marchessault, and Riley Smith. Not the three most experienced guys or the biggest pedigree. But the guys who fucking were young, hungry for it, and fucking produced. And if you want to think about, oh, that was the obvious, no, there wasn't. If we were going by just experience alone, the top line is James Neal, David Perron, and Cody Eakin. And those players at the time were not bad. Arguably, some of them aren't really still bad. James Neal is decent bottom 9 depth. Cody Eakin is bottom 6 depth. And David Perron is even, dare I say, top 6. However, had they used those 3 players on their first line, I don't think they even make the third round. It's putting the right players, knowing the wherewithal to bring in the right youth and to use them properly. I am terrified of Ville Heinola's progression, for example. Because I don't know where he's going to go or if he'll ever get the minutes to show it. Think of all the youthful players that we fucking let slip. Jack Roslovic, Patrick Laine, Sami Niku. He was hyped, my friends. He was hyped. He was the best AHL defenseman in the league. In the fucking league.
And we got nothing for him.
Yeah.
Nothing.
I don't hate Paul Maurice. I just hate this idea that he's so stuck. What he is an old house. He is literally the house in Up. Why do I explain that? Because you need to move. You want to add more to that house. But you can't, because if you fucking add a third story, it'll crush the whole thing. You need to tear it down and start anew. Which can either be said for Paul Maurice himself or his coaching style. The only thing I would feel confident about with a Paul Maurice firing is putting Dave Lowry at head coach, interim head coach. Because at least then there's stability. There is somewhat stability in the organization. Because here's the thing I'm scared of, people. We can say fire Paul Maurice. But think then, what if we just go to the wheelbarrow of fucking 3 old fucking motherfucking coaches. They get passed around teams. Because this is what happens. Coaches get fired and they get picked up like months later by other teams. And I don't want that to happen. Because then it feels like we're just using a coach for the next 2 years and then they're fucking off. Or then we don't want them anymore. I want somebody who we can have a tenured time with. So, I ask you, dear viewers who have stuck around, who would you like to see coach the Jets? What changes would you like to see implemented? Because let's be honest, 0-2 to start the season is not as bad as it seems. The 17-18 campaign started 0-2. However, if this doesn't change, and 15 games or so in, we are below 500, revisit this video, and comment again. What was the problem? Because the problem to me seems like the offense, our talented, youthful offense, is not being able to show any fucking creativity. It's been stuck. It is a structure that has worn down to an extent, and it needs some overhaul. And I swear to fucking God, if I tune in on the game against Minnesota later tonight, and I see Riley Nash on the fucking power play, heads are going to fucking roll. I think that's about it. I might have missed some things. Went a little longer than I thought. But thanks so much for listening. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new to the channel. We're 9 away, motherfuckers, from 600. We're trying to hit it by Halloween. Let's try to hit it by next week. Don't forget to leave a like and comment down below your thoughts. And have a good fucking day. I'll see you later against Minnesota.